In this week's episode of Life in Lenny, we are getting the van prepped for what might just be the road trip of a lifetime. We have never done anything quite like this before, so this is a first for us and we're bringing you guys along for the ride. We'll be sorting all the essentials to get the van legal for mainland Europe, throwing in a few extras and giving you a first look at a major upgrade to our off-grid power setup. Now let's get stuck in.
Hello and welcome back. Another video this week. We've had quite a few comments off you guys saying that you want weekly videos, so although we are not away this weekend, we're trying to keep up with the weekly vlogs. Something a little bit different this weekend. We aren't away anywhere. Joe's unfortunately got some things on with work for this weekend and next weekend, so we can't go away. I know some of you might be a bit gutted about that. We've had a few comments on our social media saying less of Alex and more of Joe, which I totally understand. She's absolutely beautiful. She is my wife, but unfortunately, you've got my ugly mug for the most of this one. But yeah, this week we are just getting the van ready. You may have picked up on some of our last videos. In a few weeks, we're hitting the road and heading to Switzerland for about 10 days for our honeymoon. So we've got a few bits that we need to get sorted on the van. So we thought we'd bring you with us just to try and help you guys out and give you a little bit of an idea of what it takes and what kind of stuff you need for your van if you're planning on travelling into mainland Europe. So not sure how it'll go. We've not done a vlog like this before, probably be a little bit shorter than our other videos, but yeah, come along and we'll get this van ready for the road. So there has already been a few things that we've already sorted, ready for when we go away, but I'll take you through those in this video as well. And we'll also be trying to give you sort of a price breakdown as to what we're spending, just so you have an idea of what it costs to get yourself over to Europe, in terms of, like, you know, the travel, what we plan on spending on fuel, everything that we need for the van. There are a few things that we need to add to the van so that they're legal on the French roads and the Swiss roads and that kind of stuff. But yeah, we'll try and give you as much information in this video as we can, just to really give you guys a bit of a hand if ever you're looking to do anything the same. So we've arrived at Go Outdoors in Shrewsbury. To be honest, don't need too many essentials from here, but there's a couple of little things that we do want to get our hands on ready for the trip. So this is going to be dangerous because I absolutely love this shop and I know I'm going to spend more than I plan, but let's see what we can find. I told you this would happen. I knew that would happen. Went in, didn't get anything that I actually needed, but we have come away with a two-person kayak. I've wanted these for absolutely ages. So yeah, absolutely buzzing with that. Where we're staying in Switzerland, we're in Interlaken, which I think translates for in between the lakes. We're pretty sure it's Lake Thun and Lake Brienz that we're right in between. So that is going to be an absolute game changer. We also don't have a shower in the van. We are staying on campsites for the bulk, but we're going to hopefully do a couple of nights off grid. So I've just picked up one of these as well. Little 20 litre solar shower. I did use one on the weekend and it was sound. To be fair, I don't know whether I'd want to use it in the winter when it's freezing cold, but in the summer, that'll be absolutely sound for us to have a quick wash in the morning. And all of that came to a total of, let's have a look, 147 quid. Hello.
Hello, you okay?
Guess what I've just bought?
What have you bought?
Guess.
A boat?
Yeah.
Have you actually?
Yeah, we've got a kayak.
Never.
So we've now come to Halfords. There's a couple of things that we need to get from here so that we are legally driving on the roads. The roads are a little bit different over in France, so I'll go and grab what we need and I'll show you what we've got. So we are back from Halfords and this is what we picked up, as well as some screen wash and a couple of bottles of AdBlue as well. This is the main thing we needed, these headlamp beam adapters. I've never used these before, I've never installed them before, but I do know these are a legal requirement to drive in both France and Switzerland. It also said on ChatGPT that you need two high vises, whether we use them or not, I don't know, and a warning triangle, which I did think we got, but I checked and we don't have one. So we picked this up and this came to, I don't know whether it's easy, it was about 50 quid for all of that, including the AdBlue and some screen wash as well, so not too bad. So if you're wondering, you need the headlamp beam deflectors, as the headlights on our UK vehicles are designed for driving on the left hand side, and obviously we're driving on the right hand side. So we need to have a look at how to fit them, and then that should prevent us from sort of blinding or dazzling anyone when we're driving at night or anything like that with our headlights on. Right, I'm absolutely starving. It's about 2 o'clock now, so I'm going to go and have some lunch, and then I'll be back once we start making a start on cleaning up the van and getting everything ready. Well, I haven't got much done, but the boss is back and she's got a new haircut. That's it, it's lovely that. Thanks. They're going to want to see even more of you now, listen to me.
Shut up.
So I've got a few bits sorted in the van, but it needs cleaning. So I thought we'd...
You've been here all day.
Yeah, but you're the boss. That's what you tell me.
So go clean it then.
So it's now Saturday. We didn't end up getting too much done yesterday. It was so warm, really muggy, and I've got to clean all this out underneath here. I just couldn't be bothered, to be honest. So we ended up going to the pub and having a couple of pints. You're probably going to start thinking we're alcoholics now. It's all we seem to do on this channel is drink. But first job for today is start cleaning out this. We are going to give the van a full clean. I just want to get everything out of our boot space. And then I've got a bit of an upgrade that we're doing to our battery system that I'll show you shortly as well, that we're really excited about.
If you've got a camper van, you'll know just how limited space can be. So I got started on clearing out the garage area to figure out exactly what we do and don't need to take on this trip. There's a fair bit in here that, to be honest, we hardly ever use, so it was actually quite refreshing to have a proper sort out.
Anyone who has a camper van will know just how frustrating it is, how messy this space gets. God. So that's everything out. We haven't actually got too much in the back there, just chairs, tables, some fishing stuff, paddleboard that we've got a few bits in, more fishing stuff, and then I do want to try and get all this stuff in these 2 boxes, ideally down to 1, because if we're to be honest, we barely even take anything out of these and they just take up so much space. We also have our Ninja cool box, which is inside the house at the minute, that we need to get in, and we do have the Ninja pizza oven that we are going to try and take, because on one of the campsites we're at, we have electric hookup, so we want to try and make some nice pizzas there when we're away if we can, so we need to try and get that in as well. Van life by the beach is great, but you get sand absolutely everywhere, and it's a nightmare to get out. I might get the Hoover in here, to be honest, because it's everywhere. Our shower added as well, and just thought I'd give you a bit of a look at this if you've not seen one before. Simply fill up the bag with water, because it's black, that will then absorb the heat, so if you leave it in the sun for a bit of time, that should warm up, and it's just got a little nozzle on the end. You know, it's not a power shower by any means, but for what we need, just for a couple of days, that should do the job, so I'm going to get that packed away as well. So I've managed to unpack the kayak. Looks like it fits nicely, and we're going to put a couple of blankets in, just because we want to get Barney in, and I've had a look, it does have sort of a durable floor, just to be safe with his claws. I want to put something on the bottom when he's in, just to prevent Barney from ripping the floor and we sink in the middle of Lake Breens in Switzerland. So that is the boot space rearranged, and we've got loads more room now from just having a little bit of a clear out and from getting everything out of those 2 boxes into the 1. As I said, we do still need to get the pizza oven and our cool box in there, but I'm going to hold off from that just because we are going to be making an upgrade to our electrical system, and I just think the less stuff we've got under here, the easier it'll make. I'll give you a quick look at our electrical system now, and then I'll show you the upgrade that we're making, which we're absolutely buzzing about. So this is the current setup that we have, that is pretty basic, to be honest. We've got our 180 amp hour 12 volt battery. We also then have a 3000 watt sine wave inverter. We have a DC to DC charger, which means we can charge from our battery in the van whilst driving. A mains battery charger, our solar charger for the solar panels we have on the roof, and then over here we have our smart shunt and our battery protect, as well as our mains hookup regulator, and then we have our 12 volt fuse board. So pretty basic setup. We have been having a little bit of an issue with our inverter, which you can see here, which is the main reason that we're looking at upgrading our battery system, as we're just finding that this battery here, I think we've read online that the battery needs to be above 12 volts in order for the inverter to run correctly, and we're just struggling with it. If you watched any of our videos on our TikTok series when we converted the van, you'll know that we didn't do any of this sort of ourselves. We paid a professional to do this, but from our understanding, the inverter that we have needs the battery to be above 12 volts in order to work correctly, and we're just having issues with it. We're checking our app and we can see we have 60-70% battery life remaining on our battery, but when we're trying to run things off the inverter, it's just cutting everything out and we're struggling to use it. So if anyone in the comments or anyone watching this has a better understanding of this than we do, feel free to drop in the comments, but we do think we have a solution, which I'll show you now. We are absolutely buzzing to have teamed up with Fogstar UK, who have kindly sent us their Fogstar Drift Pro 12 volt 230 amp hour leisure battery to help boost our off-grid setup. This beast of a battery offers 230 amp hours and we'll be adding it to our existing 180 amp hour setup, giving us a serious upgrade in capacity and flexibility when on the road. The Drift Pro features a high current JBD BMS system rated at 300 amps, providing full protection against overcharging, over discharging and extreme temperatures. It's also built for longevity with a cycle life of up to 4,500 cycles. So we are absolutely buzzing to have teamed up with Fogstar, who have really kindly gifted us their Drift Pro 12 volt 230 amp hour battery to bolster Lenny's capacity, because he does need it. He's been struggling a little bit lately. We've had our eye on Fogstar for some time and they really do seem to be leading the way in terms of leisure batteries for campervans and caravans and that kind of thing, so we're absolutely buzzing to finally have something a little bit more powerful, especially in prep for our road trip to Switzerland in just a couple of weeks. So they sent us the battery, which you can see here. They also sent us a bracket that can sit on. As you can see, our current battery has just got some wood around it. I've been meaning to get some brackets to sort that out, but I just haven't got round to it yet. They also sent us all of the hardware, and they even sent us some air fresheners for the front cab, which is a really nice touch. So we're just buzzing to get this in. We won't be fitting this ourselves, I don't think. We use a company called Cladded Campers based in Newport, Shropshire. They were the guys that helped us out with some of the interior build of our van. So we're going to get Lenny booked into those guys in the next couple of weeks and get this fitted. We are still going to keep our 180 amp hour battery in the van as well. So this should really bolster what we can do, and hopefully then that means our inverter should be able to keep up with what we're doing, and we can use things like our hot plate, pizza oven, all that kind of stuff, air fryer when we're out on the road, because we do want to start being off grid a little bit more as opposed to just being on campsites. One thing to keep in mind is our new battery is lithium ion and our old battery is lead acid, and after doing a little bit of research online, it does recommend not to use those two types of batteries together on the same system. So we'll take a little bit of advice on what to do, but I think the best bet's probably going to be to run our inverter off our new Drift Pro and then continue to run everything else off our old batteries. It does hold up fine unless we're using the inverter. We'll see. If somebody advises that they don't think that's advisable, we might just scrap off the old battery and just use this, as that'll hold up just fine, and it would save us a little bit of space in here as well. But ideally we do want to try and keep both batteries. We have also noticed that it looks like there's a little bit of a scuff on the corner here, and we're also missing a screw. My guess is it should probably be okay. I mean, we have been gifted this, but I have emailed Fogstar just to double check with them to make sure that that's safe to use before we go ahead with the installation. Now, one of my jobs for this afternoon was going to be to install our headlamp beam adapters, but I've given it some thought and I don't think I should probably do that just yet, as these are obviously designed for driving on the right hand side of the road. So I think we'll leave that to a little bit nearer the date that we leave. But I have had a look at the instructions. I'm no good with instructions, but even I managed to figure this out, and I've got an idea of how to install those. They look pretty easy. So I think we've got a campsite booked just outside Folkestone for the night before. We've got a really early crossing over into France on the Eurotunnel, so I'll probably get that done then, a little bit near the time. I just need to make a reminder in my phone so I don't forget, because I'm useless. Now, if you've watched our last vlog, you would have seen that we showed you our spice rack, which was a bit of a new addition to the van. But this week we've also added a knife magnet, which is another thing that we wanted to get. We had the van converted for so many months where we just did nothing. We were so tired of the conversion, we just wanted to hit the road. So we've actually got round to adding a couple of little bits, which is quite cool. We did also buy something that we were going to stick underneath here that the wine glasses could hang off, but we tried it in our kitchen last night and I accidentally smashed 2 wine glasses. So we thought, if it's not going to hold up in the kitchen, it's probably not going to hold up in the van when we're driving. So we're going to give that one a miss. The boss is back.
Hi.
She's off to work again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but she thought she'd make a guest appearance
On my own YouTube channel.
That's it. But we just thought we'd run over some of the costs and that kind of things. And I mentioned earlier on that we would do. So the first main one is Barney.
Barnabald's the third.
Yeah, one of the main reasons that we got the van was so that we could take him away with us. So this will be Barney's first time
I'm so nervous.
going abroad. I know. So
He's come. Obviously, he's been away every time we've gone in the van, apart from when we went to London. he's always
Yeah.
been with us. So I think it's good that we've got him used to being in the van, because this is going to be the most travelling that he's done. And he isn't the best in being in... Where are you going? Barnes. Trying to escape. Barney, come here.
Buddy.
And I would say that there is a lot more to it taking a dog
Yeah.
in the van than I thought there was going to be.
I mean, we've had to... The first thing was rabies vaccine.
Which I got really tripped up on, because he obviously had all of his vaccines when he was a puppy. And I assumed that when I was reading that online that it meant that if he hadn't had a rabies vaccine, he would need one. But no, they only last for 3 years apparently.
Yeah.
So
That was redone. That was 58 quid,
Yeah.
I think, at our local vets. We then thought we needed to get a pet passport, but they're no longer issued.
changed,
You
hasn't
now
it?
need what's called a pet health certificate. So he's booked in to have that next week, and that was quite pricey. That's
and that
about
is literally
200 quid.
just a certificate that says that he's microchipped, he belongs to us, and that he's had the relevant vaccines to be able to go to that country. When we first were looking, obviously Alex researched into it all, and it mentioned the fact that he needs like worming tablets whilst travelling. And we went to the vets and we misunderstood that a little bit, because we assumed, because you can give your dog worming tablets, you can get them from your local pet shop. So we assumed that would mean that when we were out there, we could probably have the worming tablets. And you have to, I think it's within 24 to
5 days. It was
Yeah.
like 1 day to 5 days
before you return back to the UK that he needs worming tablets. And so I assumed that we'd be able to buy them and take them, and then I could give it to him in just like a ham.
No.
But it's actually, no, it needs to be from a vet, signed off from a vet. So it means that when we're in Switzerland, Barney has to go to the vet to get a tablet.
Which we have booked. We found a vet in Interlaken, and that was another £75. So we weren't aware of all these costs. Just a bit of a heads up, if you're planning to take your dog or anything like that over into mainland Europe and you haven't been before, just factor in those costs, because it's you're not cheap, are you, mate?
No.
Looking forward to it though, boy. So just in terms of some other costs, we obviously had to book the Eurotunnel. This was quite expensive. We ended up booking this. We were late booking, and obviously we're going in August, so it's peak season, and that cost us with Barney for return about 700 quid. So that was a big cost.
The most expensive half an hour of our life.
I know, but
Is that how long it is?
it's about 30 minutes, yeah.
Insane to me, that is.
I know, so it won't be too long.
Do we
so.
stay in the van?
I don't know. I think so, yeah. Shows how much we know.
No. I think you do. I think it's a train and you just sit in the...
Yeah, but it was just the time of year. We could only go this. We've only got a certain short period we could go because of work, so we were quite limited as to when we could go. So yeah, £700 on that. I think the trip, we're sort of guessing it's going to be around 2,000 to 2,500 miles. So we're budgeting for around about £500 on fuel. I think the fuel is obviously more expensive in Switzerland. We're going to try and stock up on fuel before we go, and then obviously we'll just have to fill up as and when in Switzerland. Food, we are going to try and stock up as much as we can in the UK beforehand, and then just buy the essentials when we're over there. We definitely want some baguettes from France, don't we? And we want to try some of the cheese fondue.
I'm going to put on like a 10 ton.
10 ton test.
I know. Someone put in our comments the other day on YouTube, you let the dog in the bed.
I know.
I would give him the bed.
It's his bed. He just lets us in it.
I would, if he, for whatever reason, if there was only enough room for me or Barney, I'd give it him.
Well, it basically is only enough room for you and Barney. I'm always the one. I'm almost falling into the garage space, when I'm in bed.
I've left him alone in this van for one day.
Oh, you've been buggering off to work, haven't you?
Bugger off.
Bugger off.
Gonna stay a bit.
Yeah, but you will turn up as your little passenger princess on the day of Switzerland. It'll all be ready, and you won't have done a thing.
That's a lie. Isn't that Barnes?
You and Barney, the passenger princesses.
Yeah, 2 right.
Prince and princess.
It's me.
Right, so I think that's everything for this week. We've had a fairly productive few days. I haven't got too much on today. I'm just going to give the van a bit of a clean as the boss has been moaning.
Yep.
So I won't bore you with that. We've got a few bits planned on the van over the next week. We obviously want to get all of our battery fitted. We've also got it booked in with a local mechanic just to give it a little bit of a health check before we hit the road. So we'll maybe get some footage on that. So if you don't see us before, the next time you'll see us, you'll be in Switzerland. We'll be in Switzerland. Barney's trying to make a swift exit as well. So yeah, if you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next one. Bye. See you later.